Hello everyone, welcome back to Half Wall Hockey. We're up to 21 subscribers. So this is the part of the video where I plug this channel and you click the little button thingy for subscription. That gives me the will to continue on making 15-minute highlight reels of junior players for a very niche internet fan base. So anyways, Filip Bystedt is our newest first round pick to the San Jose Sharks at number 27 overall in 2022. He's big. He's maybe an inch or so taller than Brandon Coe, standing officially at 6'4". The reports for Bystedt have frankly been all over the place. In one report, he's described as smooth skating. In another report, he's slow. In another report, he's got good hands. In another one, he's a poor stick handler. In some reports, he's got a deadly wrist shot. In others, he's got a very slow release. So, frankly, what's the truth? I hope to get to at least some sort of consensus of what he's good at, what he's bad at. But to be honest, this has been a really hard video to do. One, the only way to get game tape of him is difficult, to say the least. A lot of video is too poor quality to make reasonable assumptions on or to really broadcast to you guys. So I watched quite a bit of what was out there for him over the past week. And also I saw him a lot play at the under 18s, so I can give a pretty reasonable explanation of his game, I feel. But let's kick it off like we always do with how he carries the puck. A 6 is a good start for Bystedt in the carry category, but I think his grade is more because of his size and his feel for transition rather than his actual skills or his speed. He has a very long stride. It takes quite a while to actually get up to full speed. He's grading pretty low in the speed skating category for that reason. Once he gets up to full speed, he can be pretty effective at getting the puck into the zone and through defenders. He grades a little low on stick handling as well, just because he has a tendency to use sweeping motions at full speed, carrying the puck way out in front of him, rather than taking small movements with the puck to fool defenders. Let's start off with a few rush clips and we'll talk about it. Bystedt is number 21 in all these clips that you're going to see, except any international clips where he's number 18 or SHL clips where he was number 25. These first set of clips showcase some of his ability off the rush. He likes to attack the middle by gaining the line and cutting inside quickly. He has a good mind for finding a passing or a shooting lane quickly once he gets into the zone. I like his zone entry ability, and this has become a kind of a hallmark of Doug Wilson Jr. picks as well, is good entry into the zone. If he's not attacking the middle, he cuts to the outside, maintains possession around the back of the net sometimes. Keep in mind that I think he's only able to do a lot of this consistently because of, one, the bigger rink that he's playing on, and also his level of competition. I wonder how, with his pretty poor acceleration and his moderately okay stick handling, he was going to be able to adjust to better defenders and a smaller ice surface. He has a good turning ability for a skater of his size, though, and he isn't really afraid to get physical to maintain possession, so I think those aspects of his game could translate well. Really quickly, I wanted to highlight these two clips back to back to discuss his speed versus his acceleration. He gets to do a beautiful long glide up ice here, but the runway is pretty large to get up to that speed. This next clip here kind of really demonstrates he can't get up to the ice fast enough to avoid pressure that's coming from behind him a lot of times. He has to improve his acceleration to grade any higher in the category than a 6 for me. Finally, just a few nitpicky clips about how far out in front of his body he stick handles. He could lose the handle relatively easily because of this, even if he's not being pressured, and needs to work on closing down the area that he can be attacked from. The distribute category is one of Bystedt's best categories. He has a tendency to pull up into the half wall area. That's the name of the show. and try to make passes into the slot very frequently. He demonstrates good touch on his passes. He has a tendency, though, to pass just behind his intended targets a lot of times, which I think he can clean up pretty easily. If he can clean that up, though, there's room for Bystedt to really grow as a distributor. He has a great sense for streaking teammates that are coming into the zone, players getting into the slot. He can switch the playing surface very effectively and stretch the ice. He prefers longer cross-ice passes versus smaller give-and-go or short passes. Given his size and his decent puck protection ability right now, with some refinement, I think he could make a very effective distributor at the next level. He does need to work on his deception a little bit as he telegraphs his passes with how big his frame is. He'll point towards his intended target, but that's something he can also clean up. Starting with this beautiful pass at the SHL level, Bystedt played 15 games at the SHL level this year. You'll notice that he's starting these passing plays off of loose pucks a lot of times. That's because Bystedt is very, very effective at getting to loose pucks, and not just that, but doing something with them when he does get them. He obtains the puck and is immediately head up looking for the next man, so to speak. I think this quick thinking mindset is a strong contributor to this category, specifically his vision, as well as the retrieve category, and his positioning in that category. So we'll talk about that later on. This is Bystedt's lowest category for me. While I think he owns a heavy and an accurate wrist shot, he suffers from two issues in this category. First, he thinks the game more is a playmaker than really a shooter. Unless he's got a clear lane to the net or a corner he's really trying to pick, he's often going to defer to trying to work the puck around the ice rather than shooting. He also has a very slow release on most of his shots, which limits him to shoot while he's carrying the puck or in traffic. He has an effective one-timer, but seemingly he has to drop to his knees to really get a lot of power on it. I think his positioning is very sound again. He can drop into soft spots on the ice very well for the one-timer, but he just needs to quite a bit of wind-up to really get power generation or needing to drop down to his knees. I like his wrist shot while it's in stride, as long as he doesn't have a defender in front of him, just because it's got a slower release on it, but it is quick and it is accurate. You can tell from these clips that he's able to get it on net from pretty far out, but he has to work on staying on his feet and using his long stick and leverage to generate speed, rather than dropping to the ice into his knees. With his lack of foot speed and recovery, he's going to take himself out of so many plays by dropping down in these situations. He's got a great mind for retrieving pucks, so he really needs to remain upright as much as possible, in my opinion. These next few clips show off his wrist shot, which he deploys from range very well, and he can generate rebounds very well from it too. He can also score off the rush with an accurate wrister. His release, like you see in this clip here, is just a little bit slow, however, and this limits him to shoot when he's in traffic. Finally, just a few more clips to continue the theme of generating offense and scoring chances off of loose pucks here. This first one is at the SHL level, getting his first goal of the year. If he can keep this level of awareness up when he takes the next jump to the SHL or AHL, I think this is where he can generate a lot of offense retrieving loose pucks. Speaking of the retrieval category, so retrieval. I think it's time we spent a little time discussing this category. Bystedt is grading at a 6.5 here, not because he's out there checking players off of pucks every turn, or because he's stealing and picking off passes left and right, but because he knows where the puck is on the ice, and more importantly, where it's going to be going. He has an ability to recognize bounces, lanes, and the movement of players around him at a very high level from what I can tell. That's why I'm grading his positioning in both zones so high. Overall, he's going to get a 6.5 from me in this category. I like his physicality and I like his positioning a lot. Pretty much every shift I watched of him, I'd see him grab a loose puck. This isn't because he was faster or even necessarily out-muscling everyone, but that he was in the right place at the right time. When he does have to puck battle, he's effective at shielding the puck away from attackers and moving the puck up ice. I think with refinements to his acceleration, he could be a very effective possession player with his retrieval skills and his mind currently. If you're watching these clips and they're a bit hard to follow, just whoever is picking up a loose puck on the play, that's going to be Bystedt. I think this clip demonstrates a lot of what I like about Bystedt. He's going to appear at the bottom part of your screen here, off of a loose puck, of course. Enter the zone. He's going to retrieve another loose puck after he kind of missed stick handles a bit. He's going to curl around, eventually retrieve another loose puck, and just keep the play going. I think that's kind of emblematic of his game. This clip, he's going to retrieve another loose puck off the boards. He's going to shield it with his body effectively, get behind the net, and then distribute to the front. It should be noted again that both of his points in the SHL this year, these next two clips also came off of puck retrievals. So overall, I'm grading Bystedt at a 6.25. This grading is difficult, however. I'm reserving full right to go back and revise my grading of him once I see him with some actual serviceable cameras and a higher level of competition. But for now, I see him as kind of an effective third-line center or even a winger at the next level. I think he has elements of a center's game, effective puck possession, distribution, but I also see some effective winger elements as well. He's got a strong forechecking game, a decent rush ability up the ice, and I think he could blossom into either position. I think that's one of the better things about Bystedt in general, is that he's kind of good at a lot, and with his size and overall rawness, so to speak, something could develop that truly forces him up into a lineup. If not, I think what others have been projecting, a bottom six forward with size and smarts, kind of makes sense. And we'll have to continue to watch him to see if he develops any higher passing skill, better speed and acceleration, better stick handling, because I think refinements to those areas will be key to his development moving forward. Hopefully he continues to keep his nose for the puck though, as I think he's very effective at loose puck retrieval above a lot of other prospects that I've seen for the Sharks. With his size, I think that specifically could take him to a lengthy NHL career. Anyway, so again, I'm going to revise Bystedt's ranking sometime next summer probably, but for now I think his ceiling grade might just be a smidge higher than Coe and Robbins. Gushchin still has true top six worthy skills far and above Bystedt, that he's maintaining that top spot, but his size may mean he never gets there, so who really knows? But with all the changes to the Sharks that are going on, watching the CUDA next year is going to be fun. I hope you guys are going to follow this channel for more updates on that. So thanks for watching, everybody, and subscribe.